Bonjour! In this video, I'll be talking about bodice contouring. Contouring helps to prevent gaping and looseness from around your garment, making sure your garment fits around all the hollow parts and curves of your body like it was designed for you. This is what your garment looks like on you without contouring. It does not come into contact with all parts of your body. And some people may think that's good, but this is a close-fitted garment. If you're going to have a close-fitted garment, you may as well just tailor it to the contour of your body anyways. It just looks nicer. I see contouring as a set of guidelines that we use to remove excess fabric from our garments for a more tailored fit. And with contouring, you can design any garment that you want. I absolutely love contouring. It makes me feel like I can do anything I want. To get started, you need your bust radius, which is measured from your bust point to your underbust. And here are the materials that you'll be needing: your compass, a ruler, tape measure, a marking tool, and your pattern. I did make a copy of mine, and that's what I'll be using. The first thing that I do is open up my compass to the measurement of my bust radius. I am not starting from the edge of my tape measure, but I'm still measuring the 3 inches that I measured for my bust radius. And then I take the sharp part of my compass, put it on the bust point on my pattern, and then draw a circle on the pattern. If your bust radius is large and goes outside of the pattern, that's okay. You're just going to draw the part that fits on the paper pattern. So that's fine. You're still going to get good results as long as you get the correct measurement. And if you do not have a compass, that's okay. You can put the point of your tape measure to the bust point and then walk it around with the bust radius measurement, marking it all around, and then connect all the points that you mark to create a circle that should work for you. So the first one I'm going to do here is the cutout neckline contour number 1. And I am putting the ruler to mark a line from the bust point to the middle of my neckline. On the top right corner, I posted a picture of the measurement that goes on there. You can measure yourself, or you can use the standard measurement of 1/4 inch. That measurement goes out from the line that you draw onto the circumference towards the center front. I did use 3/8 of an inch because I do have a very hollow chest. I feel like that extra eighth of an inch is best suited for me. And just like that, we have the first contour guideline for our cutout necklines to prevent gaping. On to the second guideline, which is for our cutout armhole styles. I am going to draw a line from the bust point again onto the tip of my shoulder where my armholes start. And the standard measurement for this guideline is 1/2 inch. I am using the standard measurement. Apart from the first guideline, I use standard measurement for everything else. I just did that for the first one because I have a hollow chest, and I use standard measurement for everything else. And I have the picture on the screen for you to see what you would measure, where you would measure if you would like a custom measurement. But I think these standard measurements work really well because you already make the pattern to your measurement. Unless there's an area where you know you have a specific issue in, then I would say go for the standard measurements. The third guideline is for the armhole ease. That's just to remove excess ease from the armhole for cutout armhole styles. And the standard measurement is 1/4 inch. Instead of marking it on the circumference, I mark it on the armhole, and that is in the middle of the armhole curve. On to the fourth guideline. This is said to be for Empire Styles, but I do use it with all of the other guidelines. I mark 3/8 of an inch on each side of my dot on the circumference or the circle, if you prefer to say that, for a total of 3/4 of an inch excess removal. And then I connect the points to the dot legs and then connect them to the bust point. And that is for a fitted style. For a semi-fitted style, what you would do is mark 3/16 of an inch from each leg dot on that same circumference, and then draw a line from the points marked to the dot legs, and then you would shape your dot, curve it around to the bust point. In doing that, I mark the top dot halfway through on each side, and then I draw a curve to the half point that I mark. On each side, I do the same thing. And then the rest of the dot that's left, I mark 1/16 on each side, closer to half of that. So I mark 1/16 on each side of the dot, remaining dot that's left, and then I curve around all the way to the bust point. And voila, I love this look. I love the semi-fitted look, although I mainly use it for my Empire style. So stick around for that when I make that video. And the fifth guideline is for cleavage, and I mark 3/8 of an inch on each side of the bust line, and then connect those points to the bust point. And by cleavage, I mean the way the garment fits around your bust. I will put a picture of what garments look like when they use this versus when they don't use it. And now it's time for guideline number 6, that is for our strapless styles. I am marking the midpoint of my shoulder here, and from that point, I am going to draw a line connecting it to my bust point. Now, guideline number 6 is a combination of 1, 2, and 3 together. The total of it, you put half of it on one side of the guideline and half on the other side of the guideline. And that will be guideline number 6 for our strapless styles. And now the next guideline I am drawing is to remove looseness from your shoulders when you are designing sleeveless styles. I measured a quarter of an inch on that midpoint of the shoulder, and then I draw a line to the neck point, and then another line from that quarter of an inch to the shoulder tip. And now this last guideline for our front bodies, it is to remove any extra ease that we may have on the side seam of the garment. So I'm marking half an inch, that is the standard measurement, and I am drawing a line from that point all the way to the waist, taking nothing at the waist. And I used to use this mainly when I use my full bust measurement on that horizontal line on the arm for the armhole. But since I use my upper bust measurement, I have not had to use this except just a little bit when I do my Empire styles, but I will talk about that when we get to that video. And I shaded that one because it blends in with the other one just to always remind myself that there's something else there. And now onto the guideline for the back. I am extending the middle of my dot line all the way to the cross back line. And I am then drawing a line from the original dot leg to that line. And I do that on each side of the dot, or both of the dot legs. I extend to that point. And that is the guideline that we would use for any dresses that have cutout backs, backless dresses, any dresses that have a cutout styles at the back. That would be the guideline for it. And now I'm doing the same thing I did in the front to remove any extra ease at the side seam, marking that half inch and taking nothing at the waist. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the shoulder as well. For when we do any sleeveless styles, marking the middle of my shoulder and then coming down a quarter of an inch from the point in the middle of my shoulder and then connecting it to my shoulder tip and then connecting it to the neck point as well. Well, to the neck point and then to the shoulder tip. And for my center back, there were times in the past, well, on maybe twice, I've had to remove extra ease at my center back, a quarter of an inch. But I never really marked that on my actual pattern unless I'm making a garment that is really fitted. That's when I've had to do that. So I think I may have a sway back, and that may be why I have to do that. But that is it for the contouring video. I will have a different video where I show you how to use or how to cut all the guidelines and create different styles with them. But the next video will be on Empire styles, and then I will do the cutting video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.